Hey guys, so it's finally out, the new Breath of the Wild sequel, Tears of the Kingdom trailer. This is the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom gameplay trailer. So it's gonna be more gameplay stuff this time, but hopefully it still shows story elements because we still know near nothing about this game. Even at this point, Breath of the Wild, we at least had some idea what the game was about. This, we know nothing. We know it, Sky Islands, we know it's possibly Ganondorf coming back, and that's really all we know. So, hopefully, this tells us, or not, doesn't outright tell us, because we don't like when things are just like slapped in our faces, like, this is what it is, you know? But, Tears of the Kingdom gameplay trailer.
Rise, rise, my servants. Sweep over Hyrule. Eliminate this kingdom and her allies. Leave no survivors.
But Link, I am not sure you'll be able to stop him. Please, lend him your power.
Okay. Okay, wow. That's a lot to take in. Especially, was that Ganondorf's voice that we were hearing? Now, Ganondorf's a big guy, so I like the voice. I was just expecting it to be, a lot deeper than what it was. Kind of like Piccolo deep. Um, but it just kind of sounds like it's like around this range. But I was expecting more of this range, a little deeper than that. Because again, the guy's huge. The guy's like freaking like 7, 8 feet tall. Um, so this is a pretty good voice range for Ganondorf. But the minute he started talking, I'm like, is that Ganondorf? Um, so it's good to see that he's gonna have. I mean, we kind of knew he was gonna have lines. I mean, everyone else talks except for Link. Um, we get to see more mechanics, which is really cool. So we got the malice going out, spreading all over the place. Um, we've got like a like an Indiana Jones style tunnel chase with the Hinox. Dun, da, 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 dun, da, da, dun, da, 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 dun, da, da, dun. Oh, you got good old faithful Epona riding across. I think this is where they're the when you see from out, you see like the outlines and the kind of like this, like it looks like a bird on the ground. We got Stack Attacka, the Pokemon who's basically just like that, just like blocks. Um, We got Ganondorf, which you got to see all the. It's crazy. We got all the malice just pouring out of this guy. It's like this has been happening for a while. How much malice does this guy have? All of it. Um, so it looks like we're above ground and Ganondorf is still in his like corpsey form. So he's probably throughout the game. This is probably going to happen in the beginning of the game, and the longer he stays there, the more he's probably going to gain power over the game. Gain power over the game, over the course of it, and probably around the middle of the game, he's going to obtain his full strength and kind of get back to normal. I don't think if he gains his power back, I don't think he's going to be like his corpsey looking. I think he's going to have regular flesh and everything again. But this is clearly above ground. He's clearly above ground now. It's cool to see that there's going to be a different way of traveling. Yeah, there's right down here. I think that's where we just were in a few of the few frames before. You can see the outlines. Like, oh, is it a bird? No, it's is that Valruda? It looks like Valruda because you got the thing, you got the trunk right there. So there might be all around. There might be of the beast there, but it looks like it might be Valruda. And we have like this, which is like a homing in attack. So he just kind of shoots it. It's just like, which is really really cool. And we see that his things are infused with the green energy. We've got Sonic rail grinding going on. Rolling around at the speed of sound. Yeah, so because of his arm, he's got like he's infused with this green energy. People are thinking it's the Zonai. We haven't seen them. They had a huge influence in the previous game, like all this all these structures, and you can see the in every game now it's like you see a swirl, it's like it's a Zonai swirl. So it seems that this is his new source of power. So it looks like he can kind of do everything he did previously without having to really, he'll probably still have to, you'll still probably have to switch through to decide which one. But now he's got this fancy green hand with long nails and green energy that he's got. We've got this right here where he's shooting, same thing. He's shooting like this green energy out of like this little cannon. But yeah, this is his hand. He's got this green nails and a really like cool golden bracelet gauntlet kind of thing going on. I will destroy him. Same, you can see it's kind of acting the same way as the other game in the other game. Like, oh, there's something underwater, it's metal. Well, pull it out. We've got this. You can make vehicles now and drive them across Hyrule. But what I think is this also in the back. I don't know if that's just graphical error in the like a graphical thing in the game, or you get right there to that island and just go up here and these are islands themselves. We've got Death Mountain looking like it's got malice in it. I don't know what that's about. Feel bad for all them Gorons though. We get almost a better look at the sky area. We got a giant circular object. I don't know if that's considered like a Mario Galaxy kind of thing where this is considered an island, but before we were just seeing him glide a little bit, and then there's all these spots where you can just pop up through the ground. But it seems like you're able to now this is probably later game stuff, because obviously beginning of the game they're going to want you to use the other method that they made of going to a certain spot and just warp sending yourself up. So this will be like late game stuff where now that you've completed a certain amount of things, now you can kind of fly around, and I don't know if it's going to be a limited time, but clearly this is separate from a glider because We can see clearly pushing air, and you can see as it was going, you can kind of see it gaining altitude a little bit. So it's clearly different than the glider. I don't think you have to worry about it doing that. We saw that it was doing that, so which is pretty good. Which, depending on how far you get it, how late you get it, can kind of determine how large the game's gonna be. Because I really don't think that's gonna be like a late, really late end of game thing. Because it's like, well, what good is it gonna do? Um, so I certainly hope it's like, I don't know how early. I mean, think about with a Skyward Sword, you have the loft wing like right from the start. As soon as you finish your stuff on Skyloft, you've got your loft wing. You can fly all around. You can go to different islands, depending on what items you have or how far you've gotten determines whether or not you can open the chest or do whatever. But you've got your loft wing from the start, so hopefully getting that doesn't take too long. Some more of the planes. It's a really nice shot. You've got some green right there. It looks like it might yeah, we've got some falling down. And then if you listen, you can hear almost like that weird music-y chanting or whatever from like the first one. And then we've got his arm looking terrible. So, okay, wait. So this looks like it's clearly before his hand becomes, infused with that green magic. So maybe he gets attacked by the malice first, and that messes up his arm, because we know the Master Sword is messed up. Like, the Master Sword is just, like, in half. So this looks like it might be the area where it all takes place. Because we got some right there, so it looks like they're possibly still underground. And then this is the part with, yeah, because this is the same scene from the last one. Zelda like steps back, she starts falling, and Link reaches out to grab her, but then the hand grabs him. So Zelda might very well be dead, or at least injured, lost at this point. But this is when he gets his arm. I'm guessing after the arm saves him, his arm is no longer functional for the most part. So it fuses with him, giving him the new powers. But yeah, this is like from the first trailer. And then we got the date 5/12/23. So we've got like 3 months to go, which it seems like a long time, but no, it'll be like that. It'll pass just like that. But I really like the fact that they let us hear Ganondorf's sweet, sweet voice. Like, it's just...
My servants, sweep over Hyrule.
Also, there's this. The same spiral that was holding Ganondorf in place. The first trailer, we see the hand latching into its chest, and then around him is this magic spiral of green magic. So maybe these are incantations, maybe they're spells, and we might be going around and having to complete things in order to learn these spells. Seeing that, as they kind of wisp around, they're forming words, not in English, obviously, or Japanese, but they're forming words, so it's possible that we might be learning, this is how we learn the different spells along the way. Because the first time we see this spiral, it's a Zonai swirl. No, the first time we see it is in that first trailer, underground, and it's with Ganondorf because it's coming out of the hand that's holding him in place. So I'm thinking it's not just that hand. I think that hand or whatever the hand, it's a spell, incantation, charm, whatever you want to call it. So that might be how we. I mean, look at where it is. It's such an open, obvious place. So whatever it is, it can't be super important. It must be like a new spell for Link to learn, time stopping or something like that. Um, we've got lights all over. Got some pretty cool new looking enemies. Got the towers right there. It looks like almost looks like there's a concert happening beneath. But we've got the towers being lit up from below. Got this gorgeous shot from almost like someone standing on the ledge. Camp, I don't know, it looks like it might be underground. Or just kind of like in a cave. Or like an outside kind of area where it's kind of like the beginning of a cave. And it looks like there's more of that green spiral right there. We got, looks like Malice back there because there's the castle. Again, Death Mountain looks... I don't know what caused all that malice in Death Mountain. But that's insane. Got the Blood Moon, everything comes back. But it seems like this time around, the enemies, instead of like the dead coming back, the malice comes out and makes them stronger. So it looks like when the Blood Moon happens, during Breath of the Wild, when the Blood Moon happens, all killed enemies, they come back. But I think since we're seeing, they come back as like, skeletal beings, some of them. But it seems like it's possible that these guys are just gonna get stronger, which will be pretty cool, you know? That looked... Yeah, we got this, like, a goblin almost, and he's got, like, this vicious-looking horn protrusion type thing coming out of his head. It looks freaking gnarly. I really don't want to get hit with those. Yeah, but you can see that it's definitely making them stronger. It's not bringing them back. It's making them more powerful. Because now that Ganondorf's out in the out in the open, his power is overflowing more than normal. He can really power these guys up. Really, really nice shot. Again, the planes we saw these. This had like what I'm guessing looked like Valruta, which might be one of the places. And there's Ganondorf, which Valruta might be. We might be going back to Zora's Domain for something, because at the end of Breath of the Wild, they said that Valruta was acting up and not working properly. So Zelda's like, okay, we'll go off to Zora's Domain. So maybe Valruta and the Beast might have some role to play again. Oh, there we got Ganondorf, Lapsin. That eye open, that poof. Got the malice, and just, God, the guy is just pure evil. Can we get much higher? Apparently we can. Oh, we got a cube back there. So we've seen a circular one. We've seen a cube one right back there. Honestly, I'm expecting to see remnants of Skyloft, because this is pretty... I think this is where Skyloft would kind of not be. I mean, Skyloft was above Hyrule, because at the end of the game, Goddess Temple came down, and it kind of, and they made that Hyrule, the land that they visited with Hyrule. So I would love to see some kind of remnant of like this abandoned Skyloft, because of all the people then descending and making their lives, in the newly formed Hyrule. Maybe there's a way, maybe not all of it descended, and, But yeah, this looks really cool. Yeah, it looks really cool. And Tears of the Kingdom. And yeah. But yeah, that was the Tears of the Kingdom gameplay trailer. I mean, it gave a little bit, like little snippets of gameplay, which is fine. Um, there'll probably be at least one more trailer before the game comes out at this time. So, well, here's hoping. But I definitely want to see more of Ganondorf, not just shots of him, like quick little shots. I want to see him in action. You know, is he going to regain his former glory? You know, former glory, or are we going to see him in like this corpsey form the entire time? I certainly don't want to have do battle. I certainly don't want to do battle with a corpse. I want Ganondorf. You know, even if he has those robes on, I want him big. I want him, you know, towering over us. I want him buff. I want him empowered. You know, I want this to feel like everything is on the line because we're like at the end of the timeline here for the most part. This is happening after all the other Zelda games. So I want this to really feel important. I want us to have a lot at stake that if we fail, there's like no other reincarnations for us. You know, I want this to feel menacing because 10,000 years between this game and Ocarina of Time when we first defeated him. So all that time, and then somehow he managed to get all this malice out, and then 100 years ago with the Calamity Ganon. So I really want this Ganondorf to feel menacing. I want him to have a strong presence throughout the game. I want him, when we finally do have that final confrontation, I want him to tower above us. Muscles like we would expect from him. You know, his, you know, some kind of Gerudo garb, whether it be the robe or his classic armor. I just want to feel that presence, that that threatening, respecting command that he has. Because you see this guy, you're like, yes, Ganondorf. Because the guy commands respect. He's huge. He's powerful. He was already a powerful, you know, sorcerer, warlock, thanks to his mother's, you know, Winrova. But then he gains the power of the Triforce, and he just becomes overpowered. So I want this final confrontation with him to feel meaningful. I want it to be as epic as the Twilight Princess one. There was how many stages in that? We get to Hyrule Castle. There's Puppet Zelda. There was Dark Beast Zelda, Dark Beast Ganon. There was Ganondorf fight on horseback, where you're riding around Hyrule Field and you're trying to shoot him with light arrows. And then there's the final battle with him, just good old classic duel to the death. I want something like that. Multiple stages, different types of forms. I want it to be as epic as the Twilight Princess one, because that was the most epic Ganondorf fight in any of the Zelda games. The most epic boss fight in any of the Zelda games. You know, multiple stages showing just how evil and creative this guy is. Of course, that Ganondorf was also tricked by a freaking fishing rod, so. But what do you guys think? What do you picture the final battle as? The epic conclusion of this game? Do you think it's going to travel past the end of the game into the DLC? Or do you think we're going to have Ganondorf taken care of by the end of the game? Again, what do you imagine as the grand finishing blow for Ganondorf? What do you think that battle's going to be like? Do you want it to be epic? Do you want him to be in his corpsey form, or do you want him to, you know, above us and like, please don't kill me, step on me, daddy? You know, let me know below. Anyway, you guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.